Hey everyone, it's your girl Shady Brooks. I had to randomly come to you guys with this news that I heard. So I'm subscribed to this channel of this woman named Lovely T. She normally does videos about anything celebrity or anything that has stuff to do with viral videos that are controversial or will get a lot of traffic to her channel, which I don't necessarily blame her for because that's what everyone else does. The video was about a woman in Indianapolis who was murdered while she was driving in her car because she got shot multiple times because she exposed some men of being down low. These men happened to be cousins that she walked in on. She somehow forgot her phone on the table at one of the guys' house, and she knocked on the door, tried to get in, didn't hear any response. No one was coming from the door, so she just, I guess, came in herself because the door was unlocked, and boom, there she sees her phone and those two having sex. So she immediately leaves out the house and runs to her car, and I guess they're trying to get her to come back inside, and she's like, no, no, no. And, they message each other, and she's like, hey, you're going to have to pay me, to keep this secret under wraps, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think if you're going to tell something on someone, do it because it's the right thing to do, not necessarily because you want to get something in return or you just want to be messy. That's just the type of person I am. Now, yes, this woman was being a bit messy, but do I think she deserved to lose her life over it? No, because at the end of the day, she's not the one sleeping with her cousin, and she's not the one murdering people in her community. So now I'm going to just get to the point. I really don't see how people are more mad at her for telling the truth than at the guy who is killing people and is on the down low, pretending to be straight, because she did say that they did have their little fling back whenever, right? And he gave her oral sex. So he is pretending to be this straight male when in actuality he is into males. And a lot of women want to know that. And it just confuses me how I hear all the time people complain about these down low men in the community spreading diseases, right? And we need to expose these people and all this other crap. But when it happens, all of a sudden, see, you should have just kept your mouth closed. See, that's the reason why you dead right now, because I don't necessarily think the woman should be dead for telling the truth. I find it really disgusting that he's sleeping with his cousin. That is so gross. And then some people are saying she deserves to die, but no one is saying anything about the dudes. Are we caping that hard for men like that? These same guys keep the black community in shambles. They keep drama and stuff going. I mean, she's no help, but at the same time, they didn't have to kill her or whoever did it, right? Now, in my opinion, they look super gay. I don't know what you were trying to hide. I mean, I guess they were trying to set an example, but what good is that if you're in prison? And then you see a lot of men saying, oh, a lot of different communities have their rules and there are repercussions for telling the truth and being honest. And I just can't, I don't get it. It's like all the stuff that we complain about amongst black people, when stuff like this happens, it all goes out the window. And then I constantly hear other people talking about how, us as black people, we're constantly being mistreated, especially when it comes to law enforcement. And we are being stereotyped and stuff. And not saying this stuff isn't true, because it's true. But then again, when stuff does happen to black people, okay, this is what I'm going to break it down and say. So when other races do stuff to black people, it turns into this whole other situation. Even if it's not even race related, it's going to turn into a race related situation. Now, when it comes to black people doing stuff to other black people, we turn a blind eye to that. Like, we turn the other cheek. And I know how some people love to, like, use the black on black crime to just, like, negate everything that's going on. That's not what I'm trying to do here. What I'm trying to do here is point out the fact that a lot of that stuff does go on, and it's like, us as black people, we don't pay attention to it at all. Like, and then that one black person that gets dealt wrong by somebody, or even, they don't even necessarily have to be dealt wrong. Like, say if they did something to bring it upon themselves, we won't hold them accountable for that. What we'll do is we'll make excuses for them. But when it comes to, like, black women, we don't do that. Like, I remember it was some black women getting killed by cops, and all of a sudden, well, what does she do? Like, I need to know all the information. I need to get all the facts straight before we call ourselves protesting or whatever. But then for, like, the males, it was like, oh, okay, we're going to absolutely do this without any questioning. We're not going to look at the facts. I really want to know what's going on. I'm really confused. I'm like, stuff not adding up. Make it make sense. I'm like, okay, I unlike other people, I care about everything that's happening. I care about what's going on with black people in general. I don't, do that. Oh, I only care about black people when other races do stuff. No, I don't do that. I don't see it that way. That's the reason why a lot of people have a issue with my opinions, because I like to hold folks accountable. I just don't pick and choose the time where I want to care. If I'm a care, I'm a care. Like, I don't think what is going on in these different communities is okay with all the murder and stuff. I don't think it's okay. I don't know why we ignore it so much. And a lot of times it's black women get murdered. And no one seems to bat an eye. I don't get it. Like I said, I don't necessarily agree with her method, but I do stand by the fact that I don't believe that she should have died for telling the truth. Now, it would have been something else if she would have just lied, but at the end of the day, she just told the truth. Yes, she shouldn't have, tried to extort for money. She should have kept that out of it, because at the end of the day, now she's dead, and now these people are trying to say she deserved to die because she wanted money to keep her mouth shut. I do feel like she was being an opportunist, and if you're going to tell someone something, do it because it's the right thing to do, not necessarily because you just want to see people crash and burn. I really shouldn't be surprised by this happening, because it literally happens all the time. Like, when murders happen amongst each other, like, no one cares. They're all like, oh, we need to find the murderers. Like, no one gets out there and protests like, hey, we got to stop killing each other. We got to start valuing each other's lives, and, start open your mouth, start saying stuff. Don't let people get away with this stuff. Don't let people terrorize our neighborhoods. No one does that, unless it's another race, of course. No one does it. And it's kind of like, it makes black people look like a big old joke. And some people don't see what I'm talking about. I mean, yeah, there is a time and place for everything. Sometimes you just have to go ahead and mind your own little business and keep to yourself. You need to know when to play your cards right. She probably didn't even think like, oh, they're not going to kill me for this. Yeah, they're going to be pissed off, but they're not going to kill me for this. Black women lives aren't really valued. Black lives aren't even valued within the black community. So, no shocker there. I just really don't see the point. I see tons of videos about men being on a DL and how women have to be careful and how it's good to expose these men and people need to speak up. But once people speak up, then there's the issue and then you're being messy and all this other stuff. Like, which is it? Do you want people to speak up about it or do you want people to be quiet? Like, what's the point? Like, people claim like, oh, this is how all these diseases are getting spread, these guys are on the DL, but then when you speak up about it, then you're being messy, you want to start stuff, you're a snitch, and when you snitch, there's a code of conduct that everybody in the community shall follow. Like, I'm so sick of it, y'all. I'm so sick of it. Like, it's a big joke. Ha ha. And people wonder why when, us as black folks, we complain about certain stuff. It's like, oh, now you want to complain? Now you want to take things seriously when any other time you don't? Just let me know what you all think about this situation. Like, comment, you better subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.